The Dead Sea, Earth's lowest point, has always been a symbol of lifelessness, its waters so salty that nothing could survive. For generations, people marveled at its desolate beauty, floating effortlessly on its dense, mineral-rich surface, certain that no fish or plant could ever call it home. But then, the impossible happened. Reports surfaced of fish in the Dead Sea itself, not in a nearby stream, but in the very waters long thought to be eternally sterile. The world was stunned. Was this a mistake? A hoax? The Dead Sea's salinity is nearly 10 times that of the ocean, fatal to almost any aquatic life. Yet, undeniable evidence forced scientists and skeptics alike to reconsider what was possible. This wasn't just a scientific oddity, it was a symbol of hope and transformation. In a place defined by stillness and death, life had found a way. The sight of a single fish darting through these waters became a living miracle, capturing imaginations worldwide. Suddenly, the Dead Sea was no longer just a monument to desolation, it was a story of unexpected renewal. The rules of nature, it seemed, were not as unchangeable as we thought. And so the Sea of Death began to whisper a new story, one of resilience, surprise, and hope. The Dead Sea has been a place of legend and science for millennia. Ancient texts and travelers all agreed its extreme saltiness made it utterly lifeless. The Romans called it Lacus asphaltites, the Salt Sea, a name that captured its essence. Water flows in from the Jordan River but never out, leaving behind a brine so concentrated it's 34% salt. No fish, no plants, not even birds hunting its surface. This harsh environment has been documented for centuries, from Flavius Josephus to modern scientists. Its buoyancy and slick, stinging waters have always felt alien, reinforcing its reputation as a world apart. The Dead Sea became a symbol of judgment and desolation, a physical echo of spiritual emptiness. Visitors felt its inhospitable nature firsthand, a place where life simply could not exist. For thousands of years, the Dead Sea stood as the ultimate example of a lifeless world. Until now. The story of life in the Dead Sea began not in its depths but along its changing shoreline. As the sea receded, dramatic sinkholes appeared, dangerous but revealing hidden secrets. Freshwater springs bubbled up in these craters, forming isolated pools. In these pockets, local guides and researchers made a stunning discovery: tiny fish swimming in clear, fresh water. These were tilapia, likely carried as eggs or fry from the Jordan River system by underground springs. Trapped in these new pools, they found a haven where they could thrive. Against the barren, salt-encrusted landscape, these pools became vibrant oases, tiny gardens of life. The contrast was breathtaking. Freshwater fish flourishing at the edge of the world's saltiest sea. This was no miracle adaptation, but a testament to nature's ingenuity. The lifeless sea, through a twist of geology, was giving birth to life. Even in places written off as desolate, life finds a way. The discovery of fish in the Dead Sea echoed far beyond science. It awakened ancient prophecy. In the book of Ezekiel, a vision foretold a river flowing from Jerusalem, transforming the Dead Sea's salty waters and filling them with life. Where the river flows, everything will live, the prophecy declared. For centuries, this was seen as metaphor, not reality. But now, freshwater pools and living fish along the Dead Sea's shores seem to mirror Ezekiel's words. For many, this is more than coincidence. It's a sign of promises unfolding. The connection between ancient vision and modern discovery has sparked global conversations about faith, miracles, and meaning. The prophecy's simple message is now visible. Even the most barren places can be renewed. In these pools, faith and nature intersect, inviting us to see deeper meaning in the world's changes. This discovery has united scientists, locals, and people of faith in shared wonder. Scientists see a unique natural laboratory, freshwater microhabitats thriving in a hostile environment.
It's a remarkable example of adaptation. We're studying the conditions that allow these fish to survive. For locals, the change is personal, a symbol of hope and renewal in their homeland.
I always said nothing lived here. Now I show people these pools. It feels like a blessing. For believers, it's a powerful affirmation of ancient prophecy.
To see Ezekiel's words come alive strengthens my faith. It's a message that renewal is always possible.
These perspectives aren't in conflict. They weave together a richer story. The scientists' curiosity, the locals' hope, the believer's faith, all spring from the same sense of awe. This rare event reminds us that the world is still full of mysteries. It's a moment of discovery that unites us in astonishment and joy. The Dead Sea's transformation is more than a scientific curiosity, it's a story that speaks to everyone. Life, against all odds, has returned. The appearance of fish in the Dead Sea is a marvel of natural processes, not magic. The shrinking sea, caused by less water from the Jordan River and high evaporation, has changed the landscape.
As the salty water recedes, pressure shifts underground, allowing fresh water from aquifers to rise. These springs dissolve salt layers, causing sinkholes and creating isolated freshwater pools.
These pools are separate from the deadly brine, safe havens for life. Fish eggs or young fish likely travel through underground channels from the Jordan River basin, emerging in these new pools.
It's a beautiful illustration of Earth's interconnected systems, geology, hydrology, and biology working together. The shrinking sea, though an environmental concern, has unexpectedly created new life. Nature is always in motion, turning crisis into opportunity. Life is ready to seize any chance to begin again. The story of fish in the Dead Sea is more than science or prophecy. It's a living metaphor for hope. We all face our own Dead Seas, times of difficulty or stagnation that seem impossible to change. Yet life flourishing in the most inhospitable place on Earth reminds us that transformation is always possible. The Dead Sea's definition is being rewritten. What was once final is now a story of renewal. Beneath the surface of struggle, hidden springs of hope may be waiting to emerge. This discovery unites people from all walks of life in wonder and awe. Whether seen as a scientific marvel, a fulfilled prophecy, or a quirk of nature, the core emotion is the same inspiration. The tiny fish at the Dead Sea's edge teach us to believe in miracles, large and small. They encourage us to seek hope in unlikely places and trust in the power of renewal. The sea that was once dead is beginning to live, and in its transformation we find inspiration for our own. Life is persistent, hope is resilient, and even in silence a new song can begin.